What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So let's get started. NBA Finals Game 2 was on Friday. The Knicks defeat the Spurs 105-104, taking both games in San Antonio, and they head to Madison Square Garden up 2-0 in the NBA Finals. I have some highlights to show all of you, so I'm going to pull them up now. So you're not going to actually see me for a minute here. I'm going to talk, or there's not going to be any audio on the clip. I'm going to provide the audio myself. Again, doing this things a little different with these clips. For now, compared to what I was doing for football last fall and last winter. If you like the other way better, definitely let me know in the comments on this video. If you prefer this way, also let me know, because then when football starts, I'll do it this way as well. So Spurs and Knicks, game 2, we're going to pick things up. It's early second quarter. Spurs are up by 9. Dylan Harper's going to find Stephon Castle, corner 3. He got it. Spurs go up by 12. Next possession, Knicks have it. Currently, Towns eventually gets the basketball. Step back 3, creates some separation, got it. Pulls Knicks within 9. Now we're down 7. Towns got it again. Goes baseline for the dunk. Knicks down just 5 now. 8 minutes ago, still down 5. Fox definitely gets away with an offensive foul. The refs were wearing fucking Spurs jerseys in this game. It was ridiculous. Fox goes in for the layup. Got it and the foul. Spurs by 6. Towns gets a rebound. He kicks out to Mikal Bridges for the corner 3. Yes, Knicks down just 3. 7 minutes to go in the quarter. About a possession or so later, Dylan Harper reverse layup. Got it. Spurs back up 5. But maybe 2 possessions later, the kick out pass for Brunson is blocked. Dylan Harper goes in for a layup. He's blocked by OG Anunoby. Rebound, Josh Hart taking it all the way. Pass it to Mikal Bridges. 3-pointer from the elbow. Yes, Knicks down just 2. 4 minutes ago, now down 4. Here's OG Anunoby out to Bridges. 3-pointer. Got it again for Bridges. Knicks down just a point. Less than 4 minutes ago. Landry Shamet got it. Nice move along the baseline layup. Knicks go up by a point. They go up by 6.5. They're up 12 here in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes left. And no move with the dunk. They're up 14. Less than 5 minutes ago. Still up by 9. A little shake and bake here for that's De'Aaron Fox. Really nice move. Then we had Brunson gets blocked at the rim by Wembanyama. Champagnie there as well. Fox brings it up the court. Spurs down by 5. Finds them himself. 3-pointer. Got it. Spurs down just 2. 3 minutes ago. Still a 2-point game. Dylan Harper to the rim. Little fadeaway. Got it. Good shot. Spurs tied again, going on a 14-0 run. Tie with 3 minutes left. Your OG for 3 with about 2.5 or so left. They say it's Spurs ball. He wants a foul. Mike Brown would challenge. Sold on that last clip there. Champagnie fouls him clearly. Gets 3 free throws. First one is good. Second one is good. Third free throw also good. So OG makes all 3. Knicks go up by 3. Next possession, 2.5 to go. Knicks by 3. Fox stumbles, keeps possession. Great job to lob it up to Wembanyama. Knicks up just a point. Less than 2 minutes ago. Brunson for the layup. Good. Knicks by 3. Next possession. Spurs up the court. Dylan Harper layup blocked. Knicks get the ball. Minute to go. They turn the ball over. Dylan Harper, for a minute to go, is going to pass the ball to Victor Wembanyama. Goes in for a layup, gets it, and the foul. So Spurs take the lead of 57 seconds left. Wembanyama for the free throw is good. They're up by 2. 40 seconds left. Brunson has it. Tough fadeaway in the paint. Got it. What a shot. 39 seconds left. Knicks tie it. 15 seconds. Brunson, mid-ranger. No good. Wembanyama has it, but passes it to a Castle, isn't looking, and then fouls Jalen Brunson as soon as he gets possession. 9 seconds to go. Brunson, first free throw. Got it. Knicks by 1. Second free throw. Brunson would miss it. Loose ball. Cornette comes up with it. Saves it from going out of bounds. Spurs call timeout. 7 seconds to go. They inbound. Down a point. De'Aaron Fox dribbling. Finds Wembanyama. Elbow 2. No good. Knicks hang on and win 105-104 in a crazy game. Here I am again. What a crazy game. Knicks were down 12 in the second quarter. They ended up taking a 6-point lead going into the half. They opened up a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, about 6 minutes to go. Spurs go on a 14-0 run, tie it with 3 minutes left, back and forth. The last few minutes, Spurs go up by 2 with under a minute to go. Knicks tie it. They end up taking the lead. It's just a lot to unpack here. Jalen Brunson, not the most efficient game from Jalen Brunson. He had 20 points, just 7 of 25 shooting, 2 of 8 from three, but when it mattered, he made that layup, made that clutch fadeaway to tie it. And then he does miss that second free throw, but makes the first one to give the Knicks the lead to end up being the game-winning shot. Really strong game from Karl-Anthony Towns. 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He's looked really good defensively against Victor Wembanyama in this series. It's been really, really impressive to watch. But just 20 points, had 4 threes in this game. He played really well. OG had 17 points in this game. Shamet, 13 points from 3. That's 13 points from the field. So just overall off the bench from the Spurs. Wembanyama overall did have a good game, 29 and 9, 11 of 21, but just not good enough. Champagne was only 2 of 6. And I don't know what Victor Wembanyama was doing on that pass. Castle wasn't looking. Why would you pass him the ball? Whether or not he should have been looking, or what the communication lack thereof was on that play. Only Stephon Castle and Victor Wembanyama and maybe Mitch Johnson now. But if he's not looking, why would you pass him the ball? So I'm not sure why. What was he thinking? And also Mitch Johnson, you got to call timeout. There's almost just about 10 seconds left. You're down a point. Call timeout. Advance the ball. Get a basket, draw a foul, and try and take the lead. Like, I don't understand how they screwed that up. It was just vilely bad, if you ask me. But Knicks escape with the victory, 105 to 104, as the Knicks advance to the MSG only with a 2-0 lead. Game 3 is tonight. First NBA Finals game at Madison Square Garden, specifically in 27 years. We got watch parties all over the place with some political BS going on. The one by MSG was canceled, but we got another one going on like somewhat nearby, plus all the bars, of course, will be open. If you're in the city, in the wee hours of the late afternoon, please be careful. It's going to be crazy in the city, so please be careful. If you are in the city, really all the way, but especially after even like 4 o'clock, please be careful. Be careful if you're taking the train. It's going to be crazy. So please be careful. But Knicks are in the finals. Let's go Knicks. To finish off today, first I just want to announce that Jameer Nelson has been promoted to be number 2 executive in Philadelphia for the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, former player. He's been in their front office. He has gotten that promotion. Elton Brand's not going to be brought back. I think that was kind of obvious when they brought in the Cavs GM Mike Gaines to be the president of basketball operations, replacing Daryl Morey. I think that was kind of obvious. Brand's been there a long time. Nothing's come of his tenure. When he served under Daryl Morey pretty much his whole time there. He may have been there for the end of whoever the previous president of basketball ops was. I'm not sure if it was still Brian Colangelo or if there was somebody in between. But he is not going to return as a general manager. I'm sure this was relatively obvious when they brought in Mike Gantz to be the president of basketball operations. But let's talk some baseball for a few minutes here. MLB standings as of today, Monday, June 8th. We are approaching the halfway point of the season. All-Star break is in a little over a month. Trade deadline is in about just under 2 months. The Rays and the Yankees are in first place in the American League East. Technically, they're both tied. Rays have a slightly higher win percentage. They've played 2 less games. They're at 37-25. Yankees are at 38-26. Trout 32-34. They're hanging in there. They've got so many injuries this year. Hanging in there. Orioles at 31-35. Also trying to hang in there. Haven't had a great year. Their pitching just has not been good. And the Red Sox 27-36. It's been a disastrous year for them. Offensively, they've been terrible. The bullpen hasn't been good. The starting pitching has not been good enough. Brian Bale's been horrendous this year. He got sent to the minors recently. Crochet is hurt. Kyle Harrison, you traded away to the Brewers in the offseason, has been great this year. You bring in Caleb Durber, who's not been good as your starting third baseman. Al Score's already been fired. They're under 500 since they brought in Chad Tracy. The manager change hasn't always helped. Everyone points to the photos like, oh, look, it always helps. Like, not necessarily. It usually doesn't work, actually. Just Dom Alley happens to be a baseball lifer and an experienced manager they happen to have on the staff. The Red Sox promoted Chad Tracy, a former minor league baseball player who briefly played in the majors and was their AAA manager. It's not the same thing. And obviously Craig Breslow was still there to the ire of the fans. But somehow, someway, because of how bad the American League is, the Red Sox, 9 games under 500, last place in their division, are 4 games out of a playoff spot. It's just ridiculous how bad the American League is. Cleveland at 37-30 in first place in the Central. White Sox still playing decent baseball, 34-31. Of course, they are without Murakami right now. Twins 30-37. Not as bad as we all thought they're going to be, but they have not been good by any means. Tigers 27-39 are a clown show. They can't hit. The bullpen's been really bad. Rotation is still without Tarek Skubal, though he is going to be coming back soon. He's had a re-up start yesterday in high A. Looked very good. 5 scorers in, 6 strikeouts in his first re-up start. So with him in there, I would think at least the next 2 weeks, he'll be back on the mound. And the Kansas City Royals are also 27-39. I thought they would have a nice low year. Has not happened. They are very bad. They like pretty much done at this point. American League West, Seattle's gotten hot. 34-32. They are in first place. Starting to really finally hit. We all know how good their pitching is. Texas 32-33. You know the story with them. They got some great starting pitching on paper. It's look really good. Offensively, they're just so bad. A's are 31-34. They're hanging in there. Again, a lot of good young talent. Offensively, not enough pitching. Houston 30-37. They've had injuries. Hader was out a while to start the year. They've had a bunch of injuries. But they just overall haven't been good. Tessia Mai's been really bad. And Jordan Alvarez's trade rumors about him has not been pretty. And the Angels are 25-41. They're just a horrendous baseball team. Right now, they have the second worst record in all of baseball and the worst in all of the American League. They are horrendous. They have to trade Mike Trout. Art Moreno won't do it because he's too stubborn. All he cares about is putting butts in seats, and the only thing putting butts in seats in Anaheim right now is Mike Trout. But trade and get what you can for the guy. He's older, past his prime. It's probably the last time he's going to be fully healthy for a season and playing at an all-star level. Trade and get what you can for him. But they won't do it because Art Moreno is too stubborn. National League East, Atlanta Braves are 45-21. Best team in baseball right now. They are rolling. Phillies 35-30. They've got themselves back in the race. They've played some excellent baseball since Dom Allen took over as manager. Nationals are at 500, 33-33. They've been a lot better than we all expected. So kudos to the Washington Nationals for putting together a solid season so far. The Marlins 31-35. They have been terrible. We'll see if they trade Alcantara at the deadline. But they have been terrible. And the Mets at 29-36 are an other cluster bleep. Just a complete disaster of a baseball team. How can the $400 million payroll not have 5 starting pitchers on the freaking roster? A disaster. Offensively, they're horrendous. Starting to one of the worst all seasons ever. The rotation is absolutely terrible. It's a cluster bleep. The bullpen is not good enough. I mean, their culture is Devin Williams, who's been terrible. They're poorly managed. They're just a complete disaster. And I don't know how they're really fighting for the playoff spot. It's because of how bad the baseball's been this year. National League Central, Brewers playing some outstanding baseball. 40-23. They have been really, really great this year. Offensively, they've gotten enough contributions. Pitching-wise, I mentioned Kyle Harrison's come over and has pitched really well. Jacob Mizrahi has been on another level. I mean, between him and Christopher Sanchez in Philadelphia, Sanchez, went, 50 innings without giving up a run. Mizrahi only gave up 1 run in the month of May. The guy is just ridiculous. He hits 103 with ease. Got the Cardinals at 35-28. They're playing some good baseball right now. They've been a lot better than we all thought after they sold off at the deadline last year and in the offseason this year. Pirates 34-32. They have hung in there. Paul Skeens has of course been great. And the Cubs, what happened to them? They had 2 separate 10-game win streaks early on in the year. Since then, they have played really bad. They had a 10-game losing streak in which they hit 130 with runners in scoring position. They have completely fallen off a cliff. They have injuries in the rotation to Cade Horton and Edward Cabrera. Horton's out for the year of Tommy John. I'm not sure when Cabrera's coming back. Though they got to give up for him. Owen Cassidy's playing every day for Miami and has been pretty good. So just not going well at Wrigley Field right now. And at this point, I think Craig Counsell's on possibility if they miss the playoffs this year, which is possible. They shouldn't, but they might. He might get fired, which is kind of crazy. And the Reds at 31 and 33. To be honest, they've hung in there this year. They have no Hunter Green yet, but the rest of their pitching has been really good. Chase Burns has been fantastic. Graham Ashcraft in a bullpen role has been great. But just the rest of the bullpen, the back end, they don't really have a closer that's anything much of a threat. Their closer now is Emilio Pagan, and offensively they haven't been good. Ellie De La Cruz is going to miss a few weeks, so and they are really struggling right now. But they're only 2.5 games out of a spot. Dodgers 42 and 24. Surprise, surprise. They're going to win it all. Kyle Tucker hasn't hit it all with your guys hitting 230. Pitching like Otani's been on another level this year. He's ERA below one. Other than that, that kid Robleski's been great. Other than that, Yamamoto hasn't been great. Sasaki hasn't looked good. He's battled injuries. The rest of that rotation hasn't been good. And like Kyle Tucker hasn't really produced this year at the plate. And they're still 18 games over 500. Diamondbacks 34 and 31 aren't playing well right now, but they've hung in there this year. Padres are at 33 and 31. Something's wrong with them. They're playing some really bad baseball. Manny Machado, what is wrong with him? He's hitting 169. It's the lowest batting average in baseball for an everyday player. I don't know what happened to him this year. Fernando Tatis Jr. has one home run all season. It is June 8th. And Fernando Tatis Jr. has one home run. Absolutely ridiculous, and their starting pitching is already pretty thin. Outside their bullpen, nothing else is really going right for them. They haven't hit this year. We already know about their issues in the rotation with the injuries, so they have a lot of issues. And the Giants are a disaster. 27 and 39. Tony Vitello has not worked over there. Just Troy Raffio there was at this point. Get off his contract. He's guy's a locker room can't just get off him at this point. And the Rockies 24 and 42. They are the worst team in baseball. I don't think anyone is surprised in the slightest by the Colorado Rockies being 18 games under 500 right now. Last segment for today, going to talk about the continue my NBA offseason preview series. We're going to continue with the Western Conference. Golden State Warriors were the first team up. So the Golden State Warriors, I really think they missed their window. I really truly do believe that. This team is old. Stephen Curry, one of the greatest players of all time. He's still really great. He's 38. Jimmy Butler, who's going to be coming off a torn Achilles. I'm not sure if he's even going to play next year. He's 37. Draymond is 36. Al Horford is 40. Yeah, he has a player option. The only legit young talent on his team is Podziemski. By the way, why do Warriors fans hate Brendan Podziemski? If you were just a casual and you didn't have like some sort of context, and as someone who has context and follows the NBA, I'm not even sure really why they hate him so much, to be honest. You would think this guy like murdered somebody's family member. He's not this elite level talent, but he's a solid player. Like, let's stop. They act like this guy is like the devil. Like, it's crazy. Like, other than that, Guy Sentence is fine. Wilbur Shaw isn't anything special. Moses Moody is a good defender, but doesn't have a lot offensively. Really hasn't worked out since being a top 10 pick. I mean, you trade Johnson to make it to Atlanta for I don't know why for a depleted to like a Kristaps Porzingis who's old and his body is completely breaking down. What they do from here, I don't even know. Like, do you even take one more shot at this? Like, if Draymond opts out, I tell him just to kick rocks or do a Simon trade. The guy is useless offensively. He's still a good defender, but has not been a great defender in 5 years. He's got a big mouth. If he says one more thing about the Knicks being a fluke, I'm going to punch him in the face. He's the most arrogant, douchey piece of garbage I've ever met in my life. Never met in my life, rather. I heard they want to re-sign Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, he's 31 years old and can't stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's a 7'3" guy who can shoot the three and plays defense, and he's a very good player. I mean, he won a ring with the Celtics 2 years ago. Had a very nice career when he's been healthy, but I'm not even sure if it's worth it. Like, what are you going to give him? Like, unless he agrees to like a veteran minimum or something, not a whole lot more than that. I don't know exactly what you're trying to get out of him. You had the 11th pick in this draft. You have 54 as well. You do have all your draft picks, but then you have a little bit of apron space. Not much, but you have some. I would if you want to try and bring him back, maybe on a 1 year deal. See if he stays healthy for a year. Hopefully, you can get Jimmy Butler back at some point by the end of the season, and just try and add some sort of depth to this team. This team has no depth. The problem with this group, they don't have it. They don't have any depth. I'm sure Pat Spencer will come back. He's a restricted free agent. Same thing with Quentin Post. Post actually played pretty well last season. Got some legit minutes when guys were hurt. We're going to that's what you do, and if it doesn't work, I think you just blow the thing up because you missed your window. This team is too old. And Al Horford's going to be 40, and I don't think he accepts that player option. Although I don't think he has a whole lot left. If Anthony Melton has a player option for 3.4 million, I don't see a world in heck where he accepts that because he's a very underrated player who plays a lot of defense. So I don't think he'll take that. Next thing we're going to talk about is the Phoenix Suns. So Phoenix this past year were better than we all thought they were going to be. They ended up making the play-in. You do get swept in the first round by Oklahoma City, but you do make the play-in, and you end up in the top 8 heading into the postseason. I don't think they're in a terrible spot. Jalen Green went out and played really well last year for the Phoenix Suns. The other guy you got in the trade for Kevin Durant, Dylan Brooks, played really well for the Phoenix Suns last year. And don't have a whole lot of really good young talent, but I think, come on, Malak can be a really solid big man. Devin Booker is a star of his league. I do think he's an underrated player. Assassin as a scorer. Now, we got to start thinking about Booker. He's 30 years old. He's due $57 million this coming season. He's a player option worth $68.7 million. Actually, no, let me get this right. Yeah, he's due $57 million this coming year. He's due $61 million to 28. In 29, that insane extension is going to kick in. He's projected to make about $63.3 million in 29, and his player option in 2030 is going to be worth nearly $69 million. So I think you have 1 year to really choose a direction with this group. If that direction is continue to try to build this team up and try and contend, great. But I think if you don't take a step forward next year, I do think you look at the trade Devin Booker. If the direction for now is, you know what, let's really try and go into a retooling and a youth movement, I think you do trade Devin Booker in this summer. But most likely, they have a couple of young pieces. Your Jalen Green played really well. You drafted Kamal Malak last year. Dylan Brooks is 31, but he played really well last year, best year of his career. But we know what Devin Booker is. You have some tax space, so maybe try and add some depth to this team. You have all of your draft picks for the most part going forward. They're for the most part out of that real depth scene. You don't have your pick this year. Besides 47, but next year you have your pick. You have less favorable of Cleveland, Minnesota, and Utah, and then you have Houston's pick. You have Houston's pick again in 2029, and then you don't have your pick that year, but you have Houston's pick. You don't have your pick in 31, but you have Memphis's pick. So you're actually relatively okay with picks, but they could stand to add a couple. And as for those roster, I assume Mark Williams is going to come back. He's still 25. He has he's a restricted free agent, so they can control his rights. I'm sure he'll be back. But I would try and add some depth to this team and see what happens. If nothing gives, I think you trade Devin Booker next time. I think you hold on to him for one more year. And the last team we're going to cover today is the Portland Trailblazers, who I think have a really bright future. Obviously, still looking for a coach in terms of young talent. Shibon Sharp, I think, is a good player. He's still 23. 20 Kamara, you got him for Dame. He's a good player. He's great defensively. Still 26. Scoot Henderson is getting better. I'm not sure we'll ever live up to the hype being a second overall pick. Drafted right after Victor Wembanyama, right, and Brandon Miller, who's third pick. Scoot Henderson, but still 22. He's getting better. Denny Avdia had a breakout year last year, was an absolute dog. He's still 26. Jonathan Klingman's still 22. Young Hansen wasn't super impressive as a rookie, but is still 21, former first rounder. Klingon still 22. Chris Murray still 26. Jeremy Grant was a good player. Drew Holiday is 36, but he's a solid vet to have. You're going to get Damian Lillard back next year. He's going to be 36. I don't know what he's going to be able to give you coming off a torn Achilles. He didn't play last year at 36, but he's back in Portland. That'll be a really fun reunion. I'm interested to see what they do with some of these free agents. Does Matisse Thybulle, who's a really good defensive player, come back? Does Robert Williams, the Time Lord, when healthy, is a solid backup big man, does he come back? So I'm anxious to see what they do there. But you have a lot of young talent. I think you try. I guess even maybe going star hunting if they can get a legit number one option in there to pair with Denyavia, and then this allows guys like Scoot Henderson and Tamani Kamara and Jeremy Grant and Donovan Clingan to really settle into their roles. I think Portland will be in a really, really good spot. But at the very least, you got your 38, almost 39 million clear of that first apron. I think you take advantage of that. I think you take full advantage of that for sure. If you are the Portland Trailblazers, you have a collection of picks. Next year, you could have 3 firsts. You have swap rights with the Bucks. You have Orlando's pick. You have you make it the Bulls pick in 2028. Like I said, they'll swap rights with Milwaukee. That's in 28. You're gonna have the Bulls pick either next year or the year after. In 29, you have Washington's pick. You have Bulls pick. You have Milwaukee pick. You have swap rights of Milwaukee in 2030. You have all your draft picks. You have a lot of draft capitals. I think Portland's in a position to really build off of last year. Despite their coach being arrested in the beginning of the season, was able to make the play-in and come out the play-in, make the playoffs, and even take the game with the Spurs. You lost in 5, but you did win a game and were relatively competitive. And it was because you thought you'd get swept by 20 plus points every game. You were more competitive than I think people thought you were going to be. That's all I got for you guys today. Let's go Knicks. Until next time, so long and have a great day.